So everybody, so today is about hold, discuss, and praise. Hold, discuss, and praise. So what are we holding? What are we discussing? And what are we praising for, right? That may be your question. We're talking about accountability. How often do we see a lot of teens would walk around with no accountability? I remember that as growing up, you got to be held for your accountability or for your actions that you actually do and the things that you actually say, right? So you have to watch what you say, watch what you do, and you have to hold yourself accountable. So if you said something, but you did something that didn't match what you said, then you have to be held accountable for those two, right? Because when I was a Boy Scout, that was the main thing that we had to do, which is that if the Scoutmaster actually asks you something, you had to be held accountable for your actions. So if they told you to do something, you didn't do it correctly, and she asks or he asks, what happened here? Who did this? You have to say, hey, this is what I did. Here's what I didn't do. And you have to hold yourself accountable. So that's what I want to talk about today. And that's why we said at the beginning, hold, discuss, and praise. So I want to help you understand how to hold yourself accountable. The things that you have to do as far as holding yourself accountable is that you have to identify what are your expectations for that task or for that objective or for that thing that you are currently in front of you, right? The way you hold yourself accountable is that you said to yourself, say, let's go with your grades, for instance. If you said for this semester, I want to go about having A average in this particular class or this particular subject or this quarter, you are being held to that A standard. That's what you're being held to. You're being held accountable for what you just said, that you said that I am going to do the behaviors, I'm going to act a certain way in my conduct to go about making sure or ensuring myself to receive an A average in this particular subject. That's what you're saying, right? You're saying this and to your teacher, to your mom, to your dad, to any of your peers, you're saying, hey, I'm going to hold myself accountable to this task or to this objective. That's what you're going to do. That's what holding yourself accountable. It is allowing your words and your actions to come in line to be able to achieve an objective at the standard that you have set or at the expectations that you have set for yourself. Discuss. So the way you discuss it with your family or your mom or your dad or your peers is that you're discussing, hey, I want to hold myself more accountable to the things that I need to do at home, to the things I need to do at school, and to the things I need to do around my friends. What are the expectations or the clear guidelines on what I need to follow to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable to said expectations and boundaries? So when you do that, that is just letting you know that you're setting the tone. Like we talked earlier in the previous video, which is if you want your boundaries to be expanded, if you want the trust to be given more in certain areas, here's where it lies. Here's where it happens. Here's where the rubber meets the road. Here's where things happen. So in accountability, you're holding yourself accountable. And then as you showing your parent, hey, this is what we have talked about. Here's how I'm holding myself accountable. Now, a parent, this is your part. So praise. You have to make sure that your child is, as they're doing that, it's just small things. If you got a little one that they're taking the shoes upstairs, they're doing their homework, they're doing things that you didn't have to keep constantly telling them to do, they're holding themselves accountable. And the next thing that you can do to help them make sure they ensure that they continue on the right path is that you give them praise. You give them small praise. You take them out. You go take them on a nice walk, let them know how well they're doing and how much of a value that you find in them and how much that you love them. How much that you love them, that goes a long way. And the way that you approach them will also ensure that they continue on down this path, that they continue on doing what you ask of them to do, and then that you get the right results instead of the wrong results. Because in order for a child to continue on down the right path, they need people to push them in the right direction so they can be able to get the results that they want and also that the parent want. So I ask you today, are you holding your little one accountable? And also, are you holding yourself accountable? Now, accountability is a day-by-day thing. And it's a moment by moment, hour by hour. And I believe that you can go about doing this today. This is guidance. My name is William Jackson with New Steps Foundation. Our goal and mission is to empower youth to understand how valuable they are and how they can be able to go back into the world and be able to pull somebody else out and do the same thing. Let's go.